deal as much damage as we possibly can. Now, Lyra has Vigilance, so we are going to kill off this Chandra.
Well, that was a disaster.
He will ping our face. I mean, that's the most intelligent thing to do here. One shock, we are gone. And there is the concede, we are so lucky. No shock, no lightning strike. And Lyra and Aurelia carrying our giant heavy ass. She will carry us to Mythic if we continue like this. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Lenny and you're watching Lenny TV. Welcome to my third episode of Road to Mythic. If you have missed my previous videos, go check them out. After you, of course, watched this video, I will direct link both my Road to Mythic series and a more casual fun deck brew series at my end slate. Now, today's video was a recommendation from, drumroll please, Jay! Thank you for the great recommendation, Jay. I was really stunned when I saw Pewdiepie playing Magic, of all things. And he played a really awesome Boros list, and I used it, and I reached Mythic the first time I, stole the deck list from him. So, we have kind of a reunion here. I took his old playlist and I was tinkering around a little bit. And today's list will be my modified and updated list with all the War of the Spark cards. If you want to see the original list, I will leave a link down below. If you want to check out the original Mastermind list of Pewdiepie, that is. I will link, as I said, his deck down below. Now, I can't imagine this deck to be ultra refined, but I have been reaching Diamond 1 at a pretty fast pace, around 70% win rate. So this deck actually is pretty strong. I lost a few games after I reached Diamond 1 because I really wanted that Mythic. And yeah, we are back down to Diamond 2 with 2 losses here. But yeah, never mind. I will try to grind with this deck to Mythic tomorrow. If you don't want to miss that, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe. And Pewdiepie Brofist the bell icon. And without any more hesitation, let's get right into this awesome list. Alright guys, we are in the deck builder. And I'm going to briefly explain how this deck is supposed to work. If you don't know the original list that Pewdiepie used to reach Mythic in a few seasons ago, I will link his original list or the closest one I could find in the description below. This is the take I would go with when rebuilding this deck right now in this current meta. So we have still some free copies of Tithe Taker. This is a really strong early game disruptive tool. Making all the spells the opponent wants to cast one more expensive during my turn, so instant spells are really punished here. So Catley Honor Guard is quite the MVP in this deck. It's a good one, 2-drop, sorry, and her effect cancels abilities such as Direfleet Daredevil. So there is a little bit of anti-synergy here, but oftentimes they kill off the Honor Guard and you can use Direfleet Daredevil against control decks really effectively. It's really good against aggro decks as well. So I think one copy is fine in this deck. But the really strong card here to keep in mind is to Catley Honor Guard. It shuts down Chain Whirler, Wildgrowth Walker, and a lot of other effects. The Viashino Paramancer that deals 2 damage when it enters the battlefield, shut down. So this is a really MVP and really strong card. The one copy of Direfleet Daredevil. This card is really good against almost all the matchups. Maybe Gruul. Maybe in Gruul versus Gruul it's not the best card, but against Control it's really good. You can steal their Fort Erasure and Fort Erasure them. Against Mono Red, you can steal their Lightning Bolt and Lightning Bolt one of their creatures off the field, and it's a first striker, so it can block all the wizards. And the Steamkin as well, if it's small enough. So this is a really strong card overall. Alright, Gideon is plays a kind of supporting role in this deck. you want to have some creatures already on the battlefield. Most optimally, some of these angels. You have one Resplendent Angel. I cut the number down to only one copy because I don't think this card is really good in the current meta. There's a lot of lightning bolts, a lot of removal that can deal free damage, and it dies to all of that. On the other side, if you draw this in late game and the opponent cannot remove it one turn, you can buff it up, deal 5 damage, gain 5 life, and create the 5/5 angel, 4/4 angel with vigilance, and that's really good. So one copy I think is fine. We have Free Feather, the Redeemed. I don't have anything that synergizes really well with this card, but her stats are really good for a 3-drop. She is a flying 3/4 angel, so there is a lot of synergy with Lyra and Aurelia because it's dual colored, and Aurelia buffs her with both her effects, giving her +2 and trample and vigilance. So there is a lot of synergy with Aurelia and Lyra, which gives all angels +1/+1 and lifelink. So we have some value cards here. The value cards being Dawn of Hope. So this is essentially our card draw engine. We can generate some soldier tokens with lifelink as well against control. We have a constant way to fill the board and draw some cards, maybe, if they don't kill them off. And this helps us to really... if the game drags out into a kind of longer game, we can maybe win the game because of this card. It's a really clutch card in those matches, and it's really good. You should try it out if you haven't. The Kindling Phoenix, the best 4-drop red 4-drop ever created. It's a 4/3 flying, and when it dies it leaves behind this little totem, and on the beginning of my upkeep I can sacrifice the token and get this one back from the graveyard, and it has haste. So this is really hard to deal with for control decks, and it's a really good jump blocker against bigger creatures. It can block every turn because it just reoccurs and returns from the graveyard over and over again. One giant value generator is Gorytel or Catra. Now this is a really strong 5-drop with double strike, and whenever we play a creature spell, she generates a 4/4 black zombie creature token, and that's really strong. Now there is one more really good thing about it. When it dies, so when it is moved from the battlefield into the graveyard or it's exiled, we can just put it third from the top on our library, and it just comes over and over again, like the Phoenix here. So we have a lot of creatures that are really hard to deal with. I'm thinking about including one more, God Eternal or Catra, but I'm not sure. You can maybe try that out. And now let's get into the removal part. We have one copy of Lava Coil, and I'm not sure if I should remove that. It feels kind of okay in some situations, but maybe adding or removing one is the right call. We have 4 copies of Lightning Strike. There is a lot of stuff you want to Lightning Strike, so Lightning Strike over a great early game removal. We have 1 copy of Prison Realm, because you see a lot of Planeswalkers such as Gideon or the Baby Teferi, or... yeah, it's just a ton of Planeswalkers right now. There are whole decks that only play Super Friends style lists, so we need 1. And it's not a dead card against a Phoenix, for example, because it can also exile creatures. We have 2 Deafening Clarion. Now this can be a really clutch board web against mono white and red, but it can also give our creatures lifelink. So for example, if we don't have Lyra on the field, we can just give our creatures lifelink that way, and it can be quite clutch, to be honest. And the last 2 cards I want to talk about here are Ixalan's Binding. Now if you manage to Ixalan's Binding a Baby Teferi, they cannot cast any of the other Baby Teferis they have in hand. That's really satisfying. And if you manage to exile the hero of Dominaria Teferi, that's also pretty good. You just have to be careful that they don't bounce it back to your hand. And in some situations, the control decks have some modifiers ready and destroy the binding. And then the Teferi enters with full loyalty again. So this can be quite a double-edged sword, the Ixalan's Binding. But against the right deck, this can really shut the deck completely out of having a chance to win anymore. So yeah, this is my list. This is what I would go with, and this is what I use to rank from Diamond 4 to almost Diamond 2 now. And we are going to jump into some games. Hopefully we manage to rank up some more. And yeah, let's jump right into the games. Alright, Pewdiepie MTG is our first opponent here. Playing as Chandra. Now I don't know what he's up to, but this is a really slow hand. This one is better. If we pick up a second white source, we might have a pretty good chance here. We will start off with red. A red mountain. Alright, breeding pool coming in. We will play the honor guard here, preventing everything that is causing an effect when it enters the battlefield. So we shut down explore. Alright, the elf coming down. And we didn't pick up a second white source. I'm going to lightning strike the Lanabor elves here and hit for 1. Let's hope we pick up a second white mana source here. Otherwise it's looking pretty bad. We are out of cards to play already, and that's not what you want. Alright, we pick up a second white source, and that is really good. We will play Feather, the Redeemed, attack for 1. And this looks like something you would play in a Reclamation deck. So maybe we are facing up against the Reclamation deck here. Interesting. Or it might be a Steal Your Stuff, Simic kind of deck. Right now, it is at 4 mana. There could be a Frilled Mystic coming in here. And we will just feel the opponent out here. Yeah, there is a Frilled Mystic coming down. Alright, we will let that happen. No counter possible because of the honor guard. And then we will lightning strike this one. 100%. We need to go all in here. Our hand is really empty. We cannot afford to lose the honor guard here. If he has some more Frilled Mystics, they are pretty much a dead card in his hand. And we will play the Resplendent Angel. And we will apply as much pressure as possible. We are running out of cards to play. That means we need some pressure on the board, and we need to end this game as fast as possible. And there is Lyra Dawnbringer. And she should definitely seal this game up. There is a Chemist's Insight for Pewdiepie MTG, but I don't think that will help. And there is the surrender! Angel power! Perfect. What a nice victory here. Road to Mythic. Episode 3. And we are back to our roots. I already reached Mythic the first time with a kind of Pewdiepie based deck. And now we are back to the updated Pewdiepie deck, and it's just destroying ladder right now. I have a 70% win rate so far. Sugu Gorilla. Playing as Jace and facing up. We are facing him as our next opponent here. And we will keep this hand. We are set. We have both. We have 2 sources of white mana. So enough for Gideon and Feather. We pick up a 3rd land, which is exactly what we need. Now the next thing we are going to play is the Honor Guard. Alright, that's Naya colors. So I'm pretty interested in what we might see here. We have picked up a 4th land. That's also really good. Alright. Another Grove Chamber Guardian coming down. Right, we will just play Feather here. We won't attack. And it seems like he missed the land drop here. And I hate missing land drop, so I feel really sorry for the gorilla here. Alright, he is only on 2, so he cannot adapt the guardians here. So that means no attack coming from him. Alright, so what are we going to do here? We can play 2 2-drops, and I think we will do that. Now is the best time to play Dawn of Hope. And we will play a Tithe Taker here. Attack with Feather. In case he attacks us with both guardians, we will just let both of them through. And just take... We will... Now in this case, he cannot attack with them. We will just kill them. Kill one off with Tithe Taker. Alright, so we dropped Dawn of Hope at the best possible moment here. We draw Rekindling Phoenix, which is really strong. We're going to put Phoenix down, attack for free with Feather, and we are just going to wait now. He is at 8 cost reduction. Now he can play Galta, but we can just Prison Realm Galta if he decides to drop the biggest and baddest dinosaur. Ooh, Aurelia coming down. This is one of my favorite cards. Alright. So what is the play here? We want to pressure him, so we are going to exile Aurelia here. Alright, we are going to exile the flyer here so we can attack. We are going to put the mountain on the bottom of our library. And we are going to swing for 7 damage in the air, putting him at 7, so next turn we can essentially kill him if he has no answer here. Looking pretty good. Now we only need to swing for 4. Alright. The goblin coming in hastily. And he still got 3 mana left for something. Deafening Clarion coming down. For lifesteal. That's an interesting choice. I like it very much. Alright, we will kill off 1 Growth Chamber Guardian and block off the goblin. He will gain a lot of life back. He's back to 15. But he's tapped out now. We will bring Gideon onto the battlefield. And there is the surrender. The Sugo gorilla decided that he has enough of this, and we climb 1 more rank. Alright, Tamama, playing as Gideon, is our next opponent. And we have a keepable hand. If we are facing mono red, our odds are pretty good. We have some early removal. We have a board clear in the form of Deafening Clarion. We have pretty useless Dawn of Hope against mono red. Against control, it's really good. And then on the top we have pretty much the most beautiful card when you face up against mono red. Alright, it's not mono red. It's, I think, Gruul. And you always remove the elves. You always just remove them. If they have a Steel Leaf Champion, they have a lot of pressure on turn 3. Turn 2, that is. I'm sorry. And you don't want that. You want to be in the commanding position. You don't want to be the one being commanded. That makes sense. Alright, he looks at my Lightning Strike and he decides that he is playing another elves. We are playing against Gruul, not Stompy. And we are going to drop Resplendent Angel here. As it's a pretty decent free drop. If he has some Pelt Collectors and the Crawl Harpooner, we are in the bad shape. Alright, Rekindling Phoenix coming down. That's a really strong card for him. I think we just need to attack into the Phoenix here. And if he decides to block, we need to kill it off with Deafening Clarion. And we will do that now. We will Clarion and clear the board. killing off the totem and the elves, giving us another chance here to pick up another land, and then we can drop our Phoenix. Now, we lost a lot of momentum because we didn't pick up another land, and we are really in the need for a land here. We don't pick up another land, so that's as bad as it can get here for us. We will just play Dawn of Hope. Deafening Clarion is of no use here for us, so all we can do is use some of our mana, at least. Alright, he's at 5. He can drop... He will drop Domri. That's really good for him. And he will attack for 5, and that's it. Alright, we pick up a Lightning Strike. That is really useless here. Alright, we will just pass the turn. We didn't pick up... We missed the second land in a row. Sometimes in Magic that is just what happens. Now I think there is no coming back at all. Yeah, Chandra coming down, further improving his board position. He gets a land off top. No, he still has 3 mana left with Domri. I'm sorry, he will generate another mana and pass the turn. Now we finally get a land. We have to shock this one in, and we will play Rekindling Phoenix here. And there is a really small percent chance we have a chance here. Alright, Incubation Druid. He drew a land. He plays the Druid. Alright, what is the play here? If he has some removal for the Rekindling Phoenix, we are done. We are screwed. But if he does not have removal for it, we can just block the Spellbreaker. He will play another Spellbreaker. And that will come in hasted. We will have to block the stronger one here. Remember, we can clear the board on our turn. Alright. So he still has 4 mana here.
We are the many.
Oh, he... Alright, I'm fine with that. Alright. So if we drop Lyra here, he can make them fight, but then just his Spellbreaker will die. And this is our best chance, I think. We will drop Lyra. We have one of the strongest blockers in the game. He will get a land that will not help him here. And he needs something that kills Lyra, and then he has won the game. It's pretty unfortunate that we missed 2 land drops. But he played really good. He has 2 really powerful Planeswalkers. Alright. So he will attack for 2, 3. He will attack for way too much damage. That's 6 we eat. Guaranteed. No, we have a chance. We are alive. We are alive here. We will block the Incubation Druid. We will gain 5. He will deal 6, but we are alive with 1 health.
They can only
All right.
if they catch you.
So, whenever a loyalty counter is removed from Chandra, she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Alright. So, what we need to do is We need to... We can heal for 7. Alright, we will need to Deafening Clarion. Now... we will need to attack Chandra here. That means she can kill off Lyra.
Feel my pain.
But she cannot kill off us here. Alright. He decides to deal 5 damage to our face. We will decline the draw here. We will go to damage. We will end the turn. So we stayed alive for maybe one more turn here. He gets another land.
Oh, it's you burning.
Oh my god, this is so stressful. He will generate the mana here.
No one.
He will play another Chandra. Alright, he is looking for a shock or a lightning strike. He gets another Chandra. Alright. He will play another Chandra. I mean, why not? He only needs 1 shock and we are dead. So, picks up Sarkhan. Alright, that changes a lot. We will need to... Alright, Sarkhan is exiled. So we want to buff up Lyra here. Deal as much damage as we possibly can. Now, Lyra has Vigilance, so we are going to kill off this Chandra.
Well, that was a disaster.
He will ping our face. I mean, that's the most intelligent thing to do here. 1 shock, we are gone. And there is the concede, we are so lucky. No shock, no lightning strike. And Lyra and Aurelia carrying our giant heavy ass. She will carry us to Mythic if we continue like this. Alright. Edge Shemp is our next opponent playing as Jaya. And we are on a hot winning streak. We are going to keep this hand. We just need 1 more red or white source. We just need 1 more mana essentially. We have the Phoenixes unlocked, which is a really strong play on curve. And we have the Honor Guard on turn 2, which is really strong as well. So I will 100% drop the Honor Guard. We have 4 mana. We are set to go off now. Looks like we're playing against Boros colors. It's a Feather deck. Alright, I'm fine with that. We will enter the Sacred Foundry tapped. And now the problem begins. Now, if he has a Reckless Rage, he can kill off the Honor Guard. And Reckless Rage in the Feather deck is really scary. And can escalate really hard. We might be in some real trouble here. Now, cards I want the most are... cards I want the most are... Ixalan's Binding, I think. Alright, we pick up Ixalan's Binding as I wished for, and we are going to play Rekindling Phoenix here. And we're going to pass the turn. I will not attack with the Honor Guard here. And let's see if he dares to play a Feather. We will cast Ixalan's Binding on Feather. Or on the Legionnaire, actually. Both are really good targets. These kind of decks run little creatures. Most likely he has 16 to 20 creatures in his deck. And if we just remove 4 of them, it essentially hurts them a ton. Alright, Phoenix is killed off here. Now, he attacks with the Arcanist. He will target the Legionnaire and the Totem here. And I'm fine with that. We will block the Arcanist here. Now, he might be able to buff the Arcanist here. Yeah, he gives the Arcanist indestructible, scries 1. Alright. And that should have been his turn. He drops another land. Passes the turn. We will play Lyra Dawnbringer first. We will wait one more turn. Until we decide to... Alright, the Reckless Rage is gone. So... He needs an answer for the Dawnbringer. Otherwise, we have a really good chance of beating Ed Shemp in this game. Alright. What he gives the Legionnaire indestructible. Should I block this? Probably I shouldn't block this. We will just take as much damage. We will take 3 damage here. Alright. Alright, we need to apply some pressure here. We have 6 mana. Right. We will cast Ixalan's Binding here. We will exile the Legionnaire. We will play Sacred Foundry tapped. We will kill off Gideon here. Bam! Lyra is such a powerhouse. I just love the card. Alright, and we will see what Ed Shemp is doing now. What will he do here? He casts Defiant Strike on the Arcanist. That's alright. He will be able to draw another card if he attacks with it, but then it's exiled. I guess he's really looking for Feather, but he probably has no Feather in hand. Alright, he gives the Arcanist indestructible to scry 1. He puts that on the bottom. There is a Reckless Rage coming out for the Arcanist, and he will finish off the Dawnbringer here. I will not lie, that's pretty awesome. But the thing is, he just used a lot of cards for that. And we will just play Rekindling Phoenix and Feather on my turn. And we will start to apply some pressure. Alright, there is the concede. Ed Shemp concedes, giving us another win, and we will rank up into Diamond 1. Alright. Perfect. Alright, Rot Fat, playing as the Fairy, is our next opponent here. We just reached Diamond 1. We're going to keep this one. This might be mono red. We have a pretty good hand against mono red. I don't know what he's playing though. If it's control and we get mana starved, this might be pretty bad news here for us. Right, we play the Guildgate first. It enters the battlefield tapped. And we will see what Rotfat is up to here in a second. Now I find it crazy that as soon as you see the first land card entering the field, you almost can guarantee what deck you're playing against. And I find that to be very amazing. Alright, Rotfat is having a bit of a pause here. And it's red. I'm so glad we kept this hand. Right, we will pay 2 life and we will drop the Honor Guard. That way his wizards are denied. He can lightning strike it, but then I will play the next honor guard. Hopefully we draw some more mana sources. That way we can apply some more pressure. Now that is a card yes, and we pick up another source of mana here. That is awesome. Now we will 100% lightning strike the Steamkin here. And we will attack for 1 here, because I think he will just kill it off now. Or yeah, lightning strike coming down here. And there is nothing he can play that gets haste now immediately, because he needs 2 spells for the other wizard to enter the battlefield with haste. So yeah, we are pretty safe here. He has 1 more red mana source left. And he's sure thinking a lot about his plays. I mean, if we pick up a land, it's pretty simple. We are going to drop the Phoenix. If we don't draw a land, we have to play another honor guard. And that's it. That's my next turn. What is he doing? I'm really confused. Alright. I don't know what is happening here. We pick up another source of mana. And that's so good. We're dropping Rekindling Phoenix on curve on turn 4. And that is just really good. Now he will have a hard time beating that. And should we draw another source of mana, I think he can concede. Because if we drop Lyra next turn, this is over. It's pretty much over for him. 100%. Now there is nothing he can do with 1 mana here against the Phoenix. Right. At 4 mana there is a lot of scary things. There might be an Experimental Frenzy, there might be a Chandra, there might be Skewer the Critics for 3 mana into a Shock on the Totem. But I don't think that is really good. That is 2 cards for 1. And that is basically the bread and butter from our deck here. Alright, he will pass. We pick up another land. Oh yes! Sometimes Magic feels so good. We drop Lyra Dawnbringer. And against Mono Red, that's basically GG. I have to be honest. He just used a lot of cards to burn down the Phoenix. Now he has to burn down Lyra. Or else we will gain 5 life every turn attacking him. Alright, Steamkin is being played here. A Firebrand is being played. And he concedes right afterwards. Alright. Thank you, Rodfat, for the game. We will earn another win here.
Hey, Lenny here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Smash that bell, drop a like, and subscribe. Now I will leave you with a choice. The top video is my recommendation for you, and the bottom one is from YouTube. Now go check them out and tell me which one you enjoyed more.